So you check the weather in Canberra. Any snow this time around?
Doesn't look like it. -3 and 15, so probably a beautiful sunny day.
So you can keep the shirt on?
I'll be keeping the shirt on, that's for sure.
Nice. What have you made of the Giants so far?
I mean, they're in great form, aren't they? They've won, certainly their last 4, all wins, all in sort of different ways as well. So they're a challenging team to scout because they've got some, obviously some fantastic individual talent, but they play a really clear system, really well organised team, and can beat you in multiple ways. So we're going to have our work cut out.
How important is this matchup considering where you both are on the ladder?
I mean, for us, every game, we've been in a block where every game has just been so important, and I think when you've got a young side, you're trying to get different experiences into them. You're trying to learn as much as you can, as quickly as you can. Games that really matter are hugely valuable for our group, and because every game is keeping our season alive, and some of the other games maybe have or haven't gone our way, so we're still sitting outside the 8. We know we're going to have to keep winning, and against a team who's in front of us on the ladder obviously gives us a bit of a chance to make some more ground.
Just the one change at the moment I saw. What does Finn need to go back and work on?
I mean, really had a good chat with him yesterday, and nothing he did too much out of his, was out of his control this selection, really. I mean, he's done his role when he's come on, and we need to keep. If you have someone as a sub consistently, obviously they lose a bit of match conditioning. So he's needs to play a full game, and that's why he's not even in the emergency list, because we really want him to play a full game and make sure we've got as many players available and fit for as long as we need them.
Jack Gunston's in the 26-man squad for this week. Hasn't played since round 17. Is it a concern if he comes in that he won't have the match fitness?
I mean, Gunners has missed a couple of games now, but he's still been training, and I think at his age and experience, he's still adding enormous value to what we do. He's been sitting in the coach's box and sitting with the headset on and still being able to help us. And if he does end up playing this week, then I think he's been doing all the work, and we know that he'd be able to run out the game if that's what's required.
Last time around, you nullified Sam Taylor. Is there a chance that he might reprise that one?
I won't give away too much just yet. We've still got a bit of training to do and some match committee later on. But, Sam Taylor's come back into this side in the last week or two, and he's obviously one of the premier defenders in the competition and someone we have to have a plan for. Whether we start with a plan for him or whether we go to one, I think time will tell.
Luke Bruce made it clear a few weeks ago he wants to go around again. Have you started conversations with him and Jack about what next year could look like?
Yeah, we haven't come to any decisions as list management just yet, and had a chat with those guys. That is sort of coming over the next couple of weeks. So, I think Rob McCartney and Mark McKenzie really take control of that part of the club and trying to have an assessment on what we look like for next year. And I think they're been great stalwarts of the club and premiership players. And whenever it is, we'll make sure we exit them with grace.
Connie Nash just signed the 5-year extension. You were the one who placed him into the midfield when you were Bob Hill coach. How nice is it to see Nashy staying around Bungie Victoria for another 5 years?
Yeah, Nashy's been, I think for those who saw the social stuff that they put up this week about how far he's come, 10 years ago, never kicked a footy before, and to come as far as he has in the time that he has just shows the work ethic that you need at this level to change codes and to be able to do it the way he has is great leadership for all the rest of our guys, knowing that most of us grow up with a footy in hand from before we can run too fast. So he's a great leader for our group, and enormously pleased that he's believing in our path and our direction, and he's a big part of it, and really rapt that he'll be with us for at least the next 5.
Same goes for Sam Frost, I suppose. I was reading last week, he talked about how he's changed his own game. What sort of work has he been putting in?
Well, I think the thing with Frosty is, as he's matured and he's come to realise what's important, and him playing his role, getting his job done, and he's just a great person to be around. He holds everyone else to a really high standard. I think you might not see him in every celebration and all those things, but he's really embraced the young, energetic group, and but at the same time he's able to drive the standard of what we do behind the scenes, and really glad that he'll be with us again for at least next year, because he's probably putting together his most consistent season of his whole career, and at his age that's a credit to the work that he's done and trying to continue to improve no matter what age you are. And I think when we see Scott Pendlebury playing his 400th at the age he is, there's some great leaders in the whole competition who can be learnt from, and I think Frosty's our version of that, who's continuing to play at a really high standard once he gets what's meant to be later in his career.
Speaking of a high standard, Connor McDonald over the last 5 matches is averaging sort of 2 goals a game and 20 disposals. How impressive have you been with Connor in terms of learning that high half forward role?
Yeah, I mean, I think Connor probably, when he got drafted, is more of a midfielder, and we looked at his running profile and moved him into half forward late in his first pre-season, and it took him a little bit of time to really embrace the role. But since he's done it, I think he's just getting better and better. And I think his level of consistency is what's the most pleasing. You know, he's played over 50 games now, so he's seen most things. You know, he's seen rain, he's seen dry, he's seen a tight matchup, he's seen a bit of a looser matchup. He's played against one-on-one versus zones. So when you have that much experience, usually the thing that comes with it is your bad games are better. And I think the thing with Connor is his worst games now, he's still a really valuable part of the team. And I think that's what we want with our whole group is as we grow together, that our bad games are still pretty good. And that's when we get that, we know we're going to be able to compete with the better sides more consistently than we have in the past.
I know you don't comment on any potential players, but are you happy with the job you've done in making this footy club an attractive place to come and play footy?
I think so. I think it's a great... I'd love to be able to take the credit for that, but I think really it's the whole environment that we've created, whether that's the staff. I think the whole football department and the administration have got a great vibrancy and really allow people to express themselves and be themselves, and then the players have been able to take that on board and for the most part really toe the line in doing the right thing and being able to express himself and have a great joy, but still bringing the work ethic that's so required in this game to be competitive and to be able to compete against the best. So I think when you look at the environment that we've been able to create as an organisation, I'm glad people are recognising that from the outside and that are wanting to be a part of it.
Let's take one more. Sammy Butler's behind us. He's out here walking around. How much of a boost is that for the team to see him up and about after the horrific injury he had earlier this season?
Yeah, Sammy Butler, he's one of the favourites of all the players, and I think he's got a 20-minute walk he's pretty excited about today. And, he's got quite a big lump on the front of his leg still where the bone's healing, and he's got a long road ahead of him. And Mitchy Lewis is up in the building today, and, he's spending some late nights watching equestrian with Shelby, which I'm not that big a fan of, but apparently he loves that. So to see these guys back in the organisation and to be back around, I think the thing with Sam Butler is just everyone loves him. So being him, he puts a smile on everyone's face when he's around.